Yeah, wow. No, I had quite a week here, including a dead chicken. So that was a good time. I
Okay.
realized that actually it's totally normal to have a dead chicken in your freezer. It's just usually it's like been processed a bit before you put it in there.
So this was a
Actual
fully
beef.
fully feathered creature.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. Yes. So just
Why was he in the
unfortunately,
freezer?
well, so I had an emergency down at the lab in Richardson because we had pieces of equipment that were offline and we couldn't tell why.
Right.
And they were kind of central to everything that we needed done. And so I realized that I'm the guy who lives near the lab. So I said, "Well, okay, I'll go. I'll get down there." And then I go outside, and I knew that this chicken was, first of all, she was quite old, and she was not doing well, and so I wasn't stunned to then find her like in the doorway of the coop, and I'm like, "Great." And I'm like, I don't have time to deal with this right now, you know. And I thought, and
Throw
yet
it
I
in the
don't
freezer.
want to just leave her there. So I double bagged her and threw her in the freezer. And I'm like, well, that's not like, I'm not thrilled that I did that. But, and then of course, the trouble is by the time I got down to the lab, I actually was there nearly the whole day because it turns out it wasn't just our equipment. One of the air conditioners had gone offline. And so the lab manager went running around pulling the breakers on lots of equipment because he was trying to keep the rest of it from overheating.
Hmm.
Yes.
And sure enough, I mean, it was fully 90 degrees in the lab by the time that I think that was the highest number I saw was 90 degrees. So it was not really a whole lot of fun. But anyway, I spent most of the day down there waiting for the HVAC guy to show up and get it all figured out and get it under control. And so anyway, so thank goodness by that point, of course, it's the middle of the day and there's no way I was going to be out digging a hole. So what I did was the right thing to do, but it was still weird. So there, take that.
Mhm.
I will take that and put
Yeah.
it in your pipe and smoke it, right?
Smoked chicken. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you get there.
Smoked chicken.
Smoked frozen chicken. And then I went out the
Anyone?
next day
Can
and
you smoke a
dug
chicken? I've never heard of smoked chicken. Oh well.
smoked chicken. Sure, you
You
can.
can smoke just about any meat, I would imagine, right?
Sure,
You
absolutely.
put it in the smokehouse, or you get one of
You-
those smokers, and
yeah,
I have no idea how tasty it would be necessarily. So
I don't know.
usually smoking stuff adds some nice flavor to it. So
Sure,
yeah,
sure. I mean, I used to get a smoked chicken enchilada at a Tex-Mex place down in Austin. I thought it was awesome.
that sounds tasty.
What do I know?
There you go.
All right. Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
It was good. David was telling me he's been subbing as a keto instructor at his local dojo, and I was
Mhm.
teaching children archery, and no one got shot, and no one got stabbed, and no small
That's
animals were killed in the process either. So
that's
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 always what we
great.
consider success.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Sounds legit.
yep.
Sounds legit.
So,
All right.
and as far as everything else goes, I'm just gonna cross our fingers and see if we can't finish this turn.
Oh yeah, yeah. It could happen.
Yep. This is
It could happen.
the part 4 of the 5 o'clock turn.
And we're really only halfway down, so that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
All good.
Well, we are
All
getting
right.
closer to having all of our activations done, so that is.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I've only got
Uh,
maybe 4 or 5 left, so
okay. And we are at +2 right now for the
for the
Austrians.
Austrians, yep.
Right. Okay. Well then if we're gonna get through it, we probably ought to start.
Yep.
So I will chuck dice.
Throw the dice and see what you get.
Hey,
And
Eric,
of
I'm not gonna
course,
be able to
it
make
is a special thing right off the bat.
make it
without
tonight.
fail.
Command confusion. All right.
I'm sorry. Who was
3-0, right? So that's Austrian command confusion.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry. Was there somebody saying something?
Yeah, Rick
Probably
said
Rick.
something.
Yeah, I was just saying that I'm not gonna be able to make it tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
My
okay.
daughter's in town, so I just
Oh,
wanted to jump in
well, it's nice of you to tell us, but
and hey, good luck.
it sounds a lot more important than watching us get massacred.
I will. We'll see you. We'll cross virtual dice tomorrow evening at Moscow.
Yep,
Okay.
sounds great.
See you then, Rick.
All right, you guys,
Bye.
have fun.
All right. You take care.
Let's see. We've got a couple of people tuning in. We've got Cohen Gillis saying, "Back at it again. I'm really digging these bar streams. I've currently
good.
got the first scenario of Zorndorf on the table, and I love
Hey
it.
now.
It's
Hey
my
now,
first
that's
dip
right.
into the system." And Gary
Awesome.
Quick is saying hi from Minnesota. So
Howdy.
hello, Cohen, and hello, Gary. So yeah, and we've got a fella, Kirk 1914, who I think it was last week's episode. He had typed in comments and had timestamps for when charges were happening and when rules were being discussed. So I'm gonna.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna comment on that. That's really nice. Saves me
That's
a lot of time because I don't have time to go through and sort things out myself. So that was really nice.
I can't keep notes in a meeting that I'm running, so it's super nice to have somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
Okay.
my command is confused somewhere. So
Yeah. So I was just looking to see who
so
specifically
Puebla
was
hasn't moved
confused.
yet.
Right. Yeah, saw that.
Let's see. O'Donnell hasn't moved yet.
Okay, yeah.
There's this guy here. He's a cavalry commander. He hasn't moved yet. This guy hasn't moved yet. He's another cavalry commander. I've got, I think, one more cavalry commander out here on the far end
Way out
who
there.
hasn't
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah. Right.
So I think that's it as far as commands go.
Not a lot.
So not a lot of choices, but pick
Right.
something. Pick a winner.
Pick a winner. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's do Castiglione.
Castiglione. Okay. Well, so I got to roll twice for him.
Yep.
And I got to roll 7 or better 2 times in a row. So nope and yep.
All right. So half movement.
So half movement. So they can only
he's activated half movement. Right.
All right. Okay. So let's see. And line backup costs 2.
It does. Well, it costs 1 plus whatever it would have cost to move into that hex anyway.
Okay, so if he moves
That's
back like
effectively
that,
2 most of the time.
it's going to
that's
cost
2.
Okay, and he
Right.
couldn't move any more than that because then that would cost 4 points.
That would be 4. That's right.
Okay. All right. So
But that's a nice, tidy looking setup.
It is a nice little line. It kind of looks pretty, and they're all wearing a nice uniform. So, all right, let me roll and see if he passes his disorder check. Oh, and he does with
Pretty
flying colors.
compellingly, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, I think that'll
Maybe
take care of it. Yep.
All right. Very good. Very good.
All right, time for me to chuck some dice. No,
No, actually, it was my turn, but whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a 6.
I mean, it was my turn because it had been, but whatever. So, all right. So,
so that is a free combat
segment
for the Austrians. So we've already done a free combat here with Starlenberg, so he can't do something.
Right.
So, I mean, I could do something with Fernstein and the 12 pounders.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that really makes sense. Everybody else is already engaged in some way, shape, or form. I'm not really in the mood for charging, so I will take a shot at you with 12 pounders.
All righty.
So what looks like a tempting target? Well, let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A range of 8. We'll fire on these guys that are already shaken. So they, at a range of 8, I am times 4. So 4 times 4 is going to be 16. 16 to 10 is going to be 1.5 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the equivalent of 6 increments. So there's no pluses or minuses. So 1.5 to 1, 0, 6. That's a special whoop-de-doo. All right, we're
Another
just pulling out all
special.
kinds of special stuff here, aren't we?
We're not getting very far.
This is artillery fire. High crops. If the target or firer's hex is clear, re-roll, subtract 20 from the roll. Okay.
All right. What we do need to do, though, is we need to roll a single die for the leader loss table.
Okay, so
Because there
who
was a
is...
star there on that special result.
Okay, all right. I don't... So we rolled a 2. So
Two,
lucky
that's
shot. Pick an
lucky
enemy
shot.
leader in range and line of sight of the firing unit. So I guess that would be what, Bevern?
Well, let's see.
1,
The
2,
firing
3, 4,
units
5,
were
6.
these two
Yep.
both.
Yep.
So probably that one and Bevern. Who else is there? Is there anybody else? He's not in line of sight. I'm guessing either one of those would be valid, but I don't think anybody else would be. Is that fair?
Yeah. So then we randomly determine who it is.
Yeah, so just so 0 through 4 would be him, and 5 through 9 would be him.
Okay.
So
All right. Here we go. So it's going to
all
be
right,
the
so
Pandwitz.
it's going to be Ponvitz, okay, and
Right.
and then we
I
roll.
roll one die and see what we get.
Oh wow! In fact, he's
6.
almost certain.
He is
Okay,
wounded.
that's enough to wound him.
And what does
Okay.
the triple star mean?
Just a double star, I think.
Oh, the double star.
Just telling you that wounded duration is equal to a single die roll halved and rounded.
Okay.
And
So we roll again, and we roll
Yeah.
a 6. So he's
So
out
that's
then, I guess, for 3
3.
turns.
Okay, and this is one of the ones that I've always struggled with because, so yes, three turns, and I've actually had a lot of challenge with this at the prog game that we're playing. I don't find the rules to be really helpful about what does that mean.
What, that he's wounded or that he's out for
No,
3 turns?
no, that it's just like, okay, 3 turns. Meaning what? Meaning it's the 5 o'clock turn now, so I'm going to count forward 3 turns, 5, 25, 46, 6. There, 6. Or is it there have to be 3 turns in which he does not appear, so then it would have to be 620. and then it's like, well, and John wanted to argue that, well, if he needs to be out for 3 turns, it's like, well, yeah, but he hasn't activated in this turn. It's just his absence in this turn is an impact, right? And here's the reason. It came up that
so it looks like it says wounded duration is equal to the single die roll halved, right? So he's wounded for 3 turns, so then he would return, in theory, at the 620 turn, right? If he's out, if his duration is the 520, the 5...
Except this turn isn't over.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So that's where I just couldn't quite figure out what was the real impact of, has he activated already? Has he not activated? Does that matter? Or is... So I think where John was offended was the idea that because I think I'd rolled a 2, so he was only going to be out for 1 turn.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so, but he hadn't activated this turn. So to me, if he couldn't activate in the next turn either, that's 2 turns. not one.
Right.
So I don't know. The trouble is the rules did not give me an unambiguous idea of what the answer was. So
Yeah, I don't see
I found
anything
that.
that like says anything about. I mean, I'm looking just at the table of contents. I didn't see
Mhm.
anything that says leader wound or leader.
Leader casualties is discussed in 21.4,
Oh, okay, over there.
page
All right.
39. And a wounded leader is removed from the map, and the owning player rolls one die to determine the duration of his absence. The duration is generally a number of turns equal to a single die roll halved and rounded. A leader can be wounded only once in a game. When a leader is wounded, make a note adjacent to his name on the roster sheet as a reminder. So, and that's literally all it says.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's kind of like, wow, considering how detailed some of the rules are, this one seems remarkably. It's just like, yeah, anyway, so whatever, halved and rounded. I'm like, what? Anyway, so I'm just laughing. So I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is, but to me, it seems a little bizarre that we would, especially in a game that's already going to be this short, that we're going to make it even harder. I don't know. It just seems to me that it's like I would count forward 3 turns. 1, 2, 3. He comes back in the 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah. No, that's fine with
To
me.
me,
If
to me,
that's
that's what makes sense.
yeah.
But I can't point to a rule that says that because
Yeah, and
I don't see one.
like with Labatai, I think it's probably something similar. Although I mean, it's conceivable the language is clearer,
Which would be
considering
shocking.
how frequently leaders are killed or wounded in Labatai, which is
Ah,
I have found that these battles here tend to be a little bit less problematic for the leaders as opposed to
yeah, it's
Labatai, where
actually. I,
those 65,
um,
66s and all that stuff seem to haunt you
yeah,
all the time.
most of the time it takes close combat to kill a leader in this game.
Yeah.
Fire combat, yeah, it takes something like this to even have a shot at him. And okay, all right. So
So he'll
now
come
the
back at
next
6 o'clock.
now the next problem I have though is how do we mark that?
Um, well,
Put
let's
the leader
see.
on the time chart, and you can actually add a label to it.
Well, but the problem is I need the leader.
Right. So what I would do if I were you is pull one of your replacement leaders and put it
You can
on.
make a copy of them.
Well, I was trying to figure out how to make a copy of him. That's the
Control C
reason.
usually.
Nope.
Right click and
I
Yeah,
don't see anything.
that's not an option. It
Yeah.
does that for markers. It doesn't let you do it for real units. So what command is he from? He's from
That's
Bevern's
Panwurts is
command.
Beverns. Yeah.
Okay, so if I go over to where the hell's Bevern?
Bevern's
Oh,
right next to him.
no. Sorry, I'm
Oh,
looking here. What happens if I do this? Ah, now there's a copy. I just dragged it from the Prussian units window.
oh, okay,
Okay.
that works.
So now if I just drop that copy on the turn chart on 6
6
o'clock,
o'clock, that'll work.
fine. All right. And uh okay. Yeah, this is okay. All right. So he hasn't activated yet.
Correct.
So I'm going to
Do you need to grab a replacement guy and put it on
yeah,
there?
strictly speaking, the replacement only shows up when you activate the command, so it's kind of a little cheating to know in advance. If we were
Don't
playing
think it
across the
matters.
table, we would just I don't know that it really does a lot, but whatever. Anyway, all right, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip him around and put him there. Okay. And then I'm going to put Ponvitz on. Did that just take Ponvitz it did. Okay. All right. So now we're good. So there was your lucky shot. Now you're going to go back and re-roll 1.5 to 1, but you're going to
With a
subtract
minus
20
Yep.
from your die roll.
Here we go. And that's
Oh,
as big a miss
so
as possible.
-6. That's got to be a very special result.
There you go. That's where
Wow,
we
okay.
buried a bunch of shot in the ground out there. All right, so I'm going to then put
one
another little
in
marker
Ponvitz.
there. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, I'll put a little marker
Oh,
here so I
right.
know that Fernstein has
So
done
he's already done his thing, right?
his magic. So he doesn't
Okay.
get to do it again. All right, and you are still rolling, I guess. Right, because that was two special results in a row.
Theoretically, that was my special roll again, right? All right, so we'll try it again this time with feeling, and that's a tie. So I'm going to keep rolling.
Yep.
So I don't know. We may not get to the end of this turn. We thought we would. No, I don't see it happening yet. Oh, well, that moves the clock for sure.
That
and
definitely moves
it's
the clock. And that's
activation
one
for
for
you.
me. All right, so I'm going to activate O'Donnell, who is here, and let's see who who belongs to him. This guy belongs to him. He's out of command, and who else? Anybody else belong to him? Oh, this guy actually belonged to the other chap. Can I move him here? Castiglione?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
Easy
1,
to
2,
understand how you
3.
missed it.
There we go. Because he could only move half, right?
Probably because he's probably too far away.
Well, he was out of command.
Right, yeah.
And then I knew we had half movement, but I didn't.
Where the leader is, but
yeah. No, Castiglione was here. And
yeah.
He was over
Okay.
there.
So he did his half move.
Okay.
All good. Right.
Cool.
So back
Thank
to
you.
O'Donnell. O'Donnell is needing to put himself in command. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because well, let me see. I don't know where Sir Baloney is, or the replacement for Sir Baloney is anymore. Oh, there's the replacement for Sir Baloney. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he's out of command. So let's roll for him.
And where's Dawn?
Dawn is here. Right here.
Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. There's really no way around that.
Yeah.
The roads are going the wrong way.
They are going the wrong way for me. So.
Yep.
All right, let's roll for him. And he's in command.
That would be a big yes.
It's a miracle happened. So let's go ahead and move his little people.
He's got the command that's kind of shot up.
Yeah, they were part of the group that got dinged by you. So we're going to move them one. Actually, we're going to move them all at the same time for the most part. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 gets them over here.
You sure you want to do that?
Oh, you're right. We got the routed guys.
Yeah, I mean, and one of them can't miss. So that
okay.
I mean, if you move one more, you could just route the other way and miss them. But
right, or have a gap, I guess. Right.
I guess so. Yeah, but still, anyway,
Thank you for pointing that out because I'm not used to that. So
just like, wow, that's pretty cheeky.
All right, so there's 4, there's 6, right? And then this guy can go here. And then I guess 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I see.
Right? And then this guy can actually stack underneath him. Which he might as well do. There's no point in one little increment there. All right, and everybody should be happy. Oh, and then let me move this guy that's here. He was in...
Actually, you need to roll to remove his disorder.
Yeah. Let's see if we can undisorder him. 0, 2. That did it.
He still gets 3 movement points regardless.
Yep. All right. Eventually.
What 0, 2 is a bad roll.
I thought a 0-2. I didn't think that for disorder there was any sort of special thing.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
you're
sorry.
right. You're right. I'm supposed to roll. I'm sorry. I've been playing this other game, and so I'm just like, I'm
I'm
like,
like,
oh yeah.
wait, what?
And, you know,
Okay.
I've actually been, following politics, and black is white and white is black and left is
Oh,
right
perfect,
and up is
perfect
down.
then.
So
Yeah, yeah.
that's I'm gonna use that as my excuse. All right.
So I saw you'd posted a
One,
video about the ILAO
two.
1807 game. Is that what confused you?
I haven't posted a video on it yet. I have posted
Oh, you
some
haven't?
comments on it.
Oh,
No, I
maybe that's
posted
what
a
I saw.
picture.
Okay, that's probably what it was.
Everybody and his brother has done a
Oh,
unboxing
sure.
of it. So I thought I would try to mess around with it a little bit.
Right.
And the rules that are in the box, I'm glad that they have come up with adjustments, because I had a situation that was just like, this is ridiculous. It was,
Oh,
they,
really?
they had it where anytime a friendly unit that's adjacent retreats, then
Yeah,
you've got to make a morale check. And so
yeah.
I had one thing that suffered a combat, and so the unit next to it retreated, and then the unit next to that one retreated, and
Right.
pretty soon I had this entire line just retreat. All of my artillery that was unlimbered
Right.
is eliminated, and I'm just like,
Oh boy.
there's a real problem with this.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Yeah, and so the
They weren't Prussians, were they?
this is ILAO, so this is
No. Well, there were some Prussians later on, I guess.
yeah. No, it was the Russian side. And so
Yeah.
here I lost what, 2 light infantry and 2 heavy batteries just in this cascading disaster. And so I'm like, something's got to be wrong. So I posted something to BGG, and then I posted something to Facebook, and Uwe said, take a look in, the updated rules. And so they've updated it so it does not have this particular
Does it still affects the unit immediately adjacent to you, but it doesn't cascade any farther than that?
Yes, exactly. So as a result of fire or assault, if the
Right.
guy next to you bugs out, you still have to roll to
Right.
see if you stand, but
Right.
it doesn't go any further
But
than that.
You running away doesn't cause the next guy to potentially run away.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. And so then I was doing the same thing
Yeah.
where, like, I would just say, I'm just going to have this one, this one set of Russian units attack this single French unit that's right in the middle of the line. And it fails, and then it's got to roll on either side of it. And so sure
And
enough,
you
I
just
had,
wipe the whole line out. Yeah.
everything starts going back, and I'm just like, this is complete rubbish.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they fixed that, because otherwise, I'm like, how
Yeah.
exactly does this game work? So needless to
Yeah,
say,
well,
I'm kind of working through it, but that way,
I do know that they had done some updates.
yes,
I will say, and because since the pressure's off, we're not going to finish this turn. I just go ahead and pontificate here. I gotta say, first of all, I get it. Right, these are low volume. The amount of testing that they get isn't what it should be. I mean, I get it. Right, I've been in the hobby for a long time, but the nicer the components get, the more it really hurts when you have to print your own to replace the one they gave you.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like, what? Why did you spend all this money on this really nice booklet that I'm basically going to throw away now? Or I guess I could mark it up, and it's very unsatisfying. And honestly, when it was just an SPI, perfect bound, 4 pages flipped over twice, it's like, yeah, whatever. You got to cross something out because there was something in strategy and tactics that said that's not a good idea. Whatever, right? But the nicer they get, the harder and harder it is. What was it? Somebody's complaining about errors on the player aids.
oh yeah, there's errors on the player aids. I saw that right off the bat, and I'm like, I just read the rule, and then I'm looking at the player aid. I'm like,
and they don't agree.
this is not correct. And so then I went to
And that is
BGG and looked
so
that up. And
frustrating.
so
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you're just like, oh, this is, I mean, and the player aid is beautiful, and I'm just going to take out my little,
Yeah.
fine point black
Right.
marker and change a minus sign to a plus sign, and then try to turn a 3 into a 2 or whatever else I need to do.
Yeah.
But I can now see the wisdom of the Marshall Enterprise guys who just have it's all electronic. They don't print a book. You just download and print out whatever
Yeah.
you need. And so if we need to
Yeah.
make changes, we can make changes. Something new comes along, hey, just download it, print it out, throw out the other one. Didn't cost you
Whoops.
anything more than just the paper that you printed it on, kind of a thing.
Right. Exactly.
And so so there's a certain utility in that.
I gotta say, I received another game just the other day. And actually, it's funny. I don't know. Is this your experience that you'll make pre-orders over time,
And then forget about them?
All you will, but they all like a whole bunch of them show up at once,
Right.
and you're like, I don't really pre-order that much, do I? But it sure looks like it because you go out to the front porch. There's another one. There's another one. Because I know we're broadcasting, I guess I'm going to be a little bit discreet about it, but it was super frustrating. Brand new book, or brand new game from a longtime industry veteran designer from, who's done lots and lots of games. And somebody says, I'm really confused because there's this nice player aid that tells me the victory point schedule for all the places on the map. But all the scenarios just say you need 6 or more victory places or something like that for victory, as if they're all worth exactly the same. What is this chart for?
Right.
And they come back and said, oh, yeah, that wasn't supposed to be in the game. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, well, that was in an earlier version before we changed some of the victory conditions. I'm like, what? So you printed this and stuck it in the box and nobody thought that was anyway, it is one of those things where sometimes you just think, come on, does anybody check this stuff out? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, other than that, and you got a copy of it, didn't you? Didn't you buy the ALAB 1807?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know some people had registry issues. I know that Gary over at Ardwolf's Lair, he got ones and the counters were all off center. And then his replacement that they sent him, FedEx from China, they all were off center too. He's not happy about it.
No, I can imagine.
But mine were not perfect, but they were ever so slightly off. And I'm just like, it's not that big a deal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's when it's like, when you're actually losing information off the edge of the counter. That's really
I mean, the ones he got were really bad.
I think I saw photographs.
Yeah, where they were like slicing off, not quite, but really, really lopped off a side.
But it's certainly, and again, it's one of those things. We put up with crap like that all the time in the old days, right? I mean, I remember getting out Avalon Hill 1914.
Mm-hmm.
And those pieces were all different sizes. I mean, it was like slave labor was cutting these by hand or something. It's just and centered? Nah, not really. The one way they got around the problem of registration is they just made the text so damn small that there was a lot of room for it to float around and still stay on the piece. But anyway, looking back, I go, okay. Clearly, we've put up with this for a long time in different ways. And again, I think part of the problem is this stuff gets nicer and nicer and nicer, and it kind of builds expectations.
Right.
And to be fair, that wasn't cheap either, right? You paid a pretty good amount of money. You'd actually like it to be good. And if the bits are an important part of it, and yeah, they are, then if the bits are wrong, then that's a problem. So I don't know. Anyway.
Well, Ray is saying that his showed up and it was fine, so that's good to hear. I mean, mine.
I only looked at the top counter sheet, so maybe if I was really smart, I would look at all of them.
Yeah. Well, and what was interesting is they sent you basically a lot of the counter sheets are stuff that I don't know I'm ever going to use. They they had a style where you can keep track of losses like you would with Labatai, where it's a 1 or a 2 or 3 or 4 marker that you're subtracting from it.
Right.
And then they've got ones that are like a Pollard, where it is, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4
1,
around
2,
the
3,
thing,
4
and then
around the
you're like
4 sides.
rotating it
Yeah.
as you go, and then
Yeah.
on the other side it's got 5 through
Right.
9 or whatever it is, kind of thing, 5 through 8. And so I'm like, I'm not a Pollard guy. I use it for artillery ammunition. That's what we used to do to keep track of that. But
Oh,
it was too much trouble. Try to do it, and I'm so used to doing this with Labatai and Bar, obviously.
Right.
So I'm just like, okay, these counters are probably never going to get used. And then they've got the
Right.
smoke counters, which I think is an interesting idea, where you basically, after each time the fire happens, you're putting a smoke counter down on top of it to keep track of who's fired as you go from one end of the battlefield to the other. But it's simultaneous, and I'm just like, okay, it's easy enough for me to keep track of this guy went, now this guy goes. And I just basically moved the little fire cube from one guy to the next to the next, instead of now putting down a counter, which I then have to remove.
Right.
And so I'm just like, I mean, it was a neat idea. It kind of looks cool, but at the same stroke, it's like I've got all this extra stuff I'm doing, adding a counter, and then at the end of the fire phase, I'm removing it anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not playing Vassal, so I can't just hit end turn and make it go away.
Yeah. So so I'm not sure, but hey, we'll figure it out. I'm messing around with it, so at least when we play out in Tempe, I'll have a better idea how it works.
Yeah,
and hopefully by
that'd be
then
great.
they'll have the sort of the birth pangs of of a new game will get sorted out in one.
Yeah, well, I guess there's already 1.4 is the current version.
Well, the one that I saw that I downloaded from BGG was 1.3. So
okay.
So if they've got a 1.4, I haven't.
Maybe I've seen a reference to 1.4. Maybe it's whether.
Well,
it's
I haven't
ready
gone to their website, so maybe if I
Okay.
go to their website, they might have something. Needless to say, is it my turn to roll for initiative?
I don't know. Did you actually just get a regular boring activation?
I did
You
get a regular boring run-of-the-mill activation.
Fine. Go ahead
So
and
here
roll.
we go.
Go ahead and roll.
Oh, that's one for you.
Oh, so it is.
Indeed. Time to do all kinds of
Okay.
wild things.
Eric's probably wondering why, he bothered David. Just probably wondering why he showed up. Because haven't you already activated all your guys?
No, I think
No,
I got
he's
one
still
left.
got Holston, I think.
Holson. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's see.
Or as you would say, what's left of Holston?
Well, that's kind of given, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I've got some cavalry that I'd like to move out of the way so the infantry can keep coming on.
Okay, so where are you at?
The one I was thinking about was Krakow. Here.
Krakow. I think I got him killed at Prague.
Oh, well done, you.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that you've resurrected him.
Oh, yeah. Well, necromancy is what I do.
That's what made, Frederick the Great great.
Absolutely. How do you suppose he was able to fight off that many enemies, right?
Exactly. He
Just
keeps
resurrect the dead.
Yep.
No
Zombie
problem.
armies of Prussia.
Exactly.
That'll be our new
D&D of
Yep.
the Age of Reason.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, I do have a friend who I play war games with, and he does a lot of stuff, and he does some stuff with miniatures, and he was showing me this game. I think it's called Silver Bayonets, but it's basically Napoleonic sort of miniatures. That's a small squad level stuff, but the idea is that you're fighting against zombies, werewolves, necromancers, whatever else. And so, of course, you're using the silver bayonets to kill the werewolves or whatnot, kind of stuff. And so he was like, "Oh, you've got to do a video on this for Halloween, And I'm like, "Okay, well, get the pieces painted. We'll play it, and we'll see how, how we have." I think the Austrian army has like a vampire because they're Transylvania, and I can't remember what the French have, and so each of the armies has some different weird monster kind of thing on their side.
Very nice.
Yeah, yeah. So someone's already thought about our little idea here, I guess. Well, what is Krakow going
Alright.
to do? He's got to
Well,
roll
I
for
guess-
initiative, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. He does. I'm not really worried, but well, yeah, I guess maybe I should have worried more. But
just barely squeaked through there.
okay, all right, all good. All right. Well, I got to figure out how to do the things. That's the biggest problem is doing the things. I'm going to go ahead and activate this artillery here as well, just because why not? And I would probably argue that probably he doesn't have a line of sight to anybody because he's right in front of a steep slope. So that doesn't really seem reasonable. So I'm just going to go ahead and move him instead of firing. I'm not going to worry about firing. And then we're going to do a little bit of movement like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And then these other guys, I think I can do all of them together. 1, 2, 4, whoop, 5. Other left.
Okay.
I think that is probably all we need to do. Yes. Yeah, I think that'll do. We'll go ahead and flip him over, and that should be it. I think David's turn.
Oh,
One for you
hey, we got
guys.
another one.
Another one for us.
It's
What a
miracle.
bargain.
A miracle happened.
It's a miracle. Okay. Have I lost my mind?
Probably. Who hasn't moved? Doesn't look like Penavere has moved. Oh, I don't know if Penavere is.
Oh no, he's a wing.
Oh, he's a wing leader.
Yeah.
So then it's Panwitz hasn't moved, right? He's the guy who got shot off his horse.
The newly resurrected.
Right. And Puttkamer hasn't moved.
Yeah. So we'll do.
And
We'll
Manstein
do
hasn't
Ponvitz.
moved. Yeah.
We'll do Ponvitz and these grenadiers, I guess. Because why not?
All right. Roll your dice.
Okay.
Although, does it
Let's
matter if
see.
he's in or out of command? If he's just moving?
Well, he can't rapid march. That's,
okay.
I mean, that, depending on circumstances, that could be important. So let's take a look here. His initiative rating is marked as 0, meaning his initiative rating is the same as Ponvitz himself. His some of his other ratings aren't so great, but that one aspect he's okay with. 5. Don't know how Ponvitz is. It is funny to start. Well, that'll work.
Yep.
Okay, so in command, and that's really great. These grenadiers are all in. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a really interesting question I've never actually thought about before. Usually, what is it I'm trying to say here? Usually, if an independent unit is within range of either the command leader, an activated independent unit that cannot trace an LOC from an activated command leader, those grenadiers are mostly too far away, special leader or any army wing leader makes a unit initiative die roll to place itself in command. Yeah, so it looks like we don't actually have to trace all the way back to the king. We just need to trace to anybody.
So they could
So
trace to Penavere, who's right here, right?
yeah, that's the one I was figuring they would just do that. So anyway, so not really all that worried about it again because I'm not convinced I'm actually going to do any rapid marching. Maybe I will. We'll see. But all right, well, let's go ahead and move, shall we? I don't think there's any shooting going to happen because we're all much too far away, and all the artillery that can fire already has. So all right, so I'm not going to worry about that. All right, that's 1-2.
Right.
Two. Yeah, looks like I am gonna need to do some rapid marching. Looks like okay, 1-2. That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
These are grenadiers, so I can do that.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. This guy, on the other hand, is gonna have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. We'll roll for his. No
Oh,
problem.
he's happy.
Yep, not a problem. All
In
right.
fact, he feels insulted that you had to roll for him at all.
I know. I feel bad, but what are you going to do, right? So, all right. And then the rest of these guys, why was Ponvitz so far back? Is part of his command yes, part of his command is these guys way back there. Is it just that one?
Yeah, because
The
these
rest
guys
of
look
these
like they're
are
part
all
of
Puttkamer.
Puttkamer, yeah.
Right, but so Ponvitz was actually stacked with nobody?
No, he didn't have anybody stacked with him.
How weird. So this one guy sitting back here by himself. No, that's Ponvitz
Oh,
too.
yeah.
That's part of why Ponvitz was where he was.
We'll go ahead and roll for him and see if he becomes.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
That should do it.
Probably good enough. Yeah. Okay, not really what I meant.
Double disordered.
Double disordered.
He's
Can you
following the
imagine?
example of the Austrian army.
That's right.
Because being disordered once just isn't good enough.
Not really enough. No, absolutely. All right. So I guess I'm just going to move these guys first. How far can I go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that'll work. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not thrilled about that, but I'll do. All right.
I mean, I can't really do anything to you. Things move so slowly. What am I supposed to be doing, I guess?
No, I was mostly just thinking about the 12-pounders, but they're getting to be a long way away now. Yeah. And I mean, it's all fun and games until those routed guys run away. And when the routed guys run away, then their flanks are out in the air.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But I only moved 5 or 4, right?
Yep,
I didn't
that's
actually
4.
Move. Well, then I guess I could march if I needed to. All right, so we'll go ahead and roll for the first one there. And we'll roll for the second one there. He's probably disordered. Yeah. In fact, the first one might be disordered. It's worth a look.
Nope, he's really good.
Nope.
Because we got a 7 modifier there. So.
Well, that doesn't affect disorder. That's only morale.
Yeah. Okay. So then this guy is just in my way. Wow, how obnoxious is that? All right, well then he's going to go, whoops, wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's okay. Now this last guy's going to be a real problem because he doesn't have a good way to get there.
I'm
Shoot.
curious, Michael. So
Why are you curious? Why would you be curious?
because I do that.
Well,
Weren't you supposed to spend extra because he can't do the marching in so
oh,
from
because he's not a
because he's
grenadier.
not a grenadier.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
don't
So
I think
where,
you'd
I'm
have to
sorry,
be
where
so
he
he
was here.
started yeah, I think he started there.
Yeah. All
So
right. So I'll go the wrong way the first time again
yeah.
because that's just how
Yeah.
we do it. All right.
So
And
that's
that's
one.
1, and that's 2, and that's 3, and then that's 4, 5, and then that's 6.
Okay. Yeah,
Which I think is 1 hex
Yep,
further
it's one hex back
than,
from where he would
he
have been
was
before.
right? So, all right, good call. Thanks. Again, didn't have to worry about that at Prague a few weeks ago. Explain that to me. The army apparently has just fallen completely to pieces. We've forgotten how to march. Weird. Do I want to do this?
Well, you got to talk to whoever it is that updates these the rules and see
Matthew.
Yeah. Although I don't know if it would affect the play of the game significantly one way or the other, I suppose.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems kind of funny that it would be one way one time, one the other. You'd kind of think, gosh, how much difference would it make? I mean, it certainly would make it easier for the Prussians to be a little bit more maneuverable as they're doing this stuff.
Right.
Would that really change the game? I don't know. A lot of people seem to be under the opinion the Prussians don't have a prayer here, in which case maybe it's a little kind of a balance sort of thing you could do. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what this one fella keeps commenting in the videos. So,
Right.
but since this is
All
my
right.
first time playing it, I have no experience one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. All I know is it's a whole lot worse than it was before. When I played it before, this was a totally different game. So,
So that guy is moving
you
from.
get op fire when he's leaving that hex
right.
there.
My Grenzer's times 2, so that's 2 times 2 is 4.
Maybe 1 to 3, I guess.
Here we go. And that's nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then let's see. This is where I'm just wanting to make sure I've got this all set up right. Oh man, I've got my units just scrambled all over the place. This is awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I figured that. Oh well, that's how baseball goes. I'm gonna put him there. We're gonna go ahead and close assault here.
Oh, okay. All right. So that would. So I then would, I guess, retreat.
You could.
Yeah. Well, that would be the one thing to do. So I will go ahead and do that. And then you want to advance, or what do we
Well,
do?
I have to advance. It's not
Okay.
optional. And then you need to
And
roll.
then I roll, and this is a morale check, so the -3 will be in effect.
Yeah.
So I still pass.
Oh boy, close though.
Yep.
That +3 made it made it concerning. So, all right. Very good then. I think that is it, and I will go ahead and flip him over. And that is it. And is it back to me for rolling?
I don't know. David, did you roll for initiative?
Yeah, that was my roll.
Okay. Yep. So it's
Yeah.
back to you. Back to you, Michael.
All right. So another special result then.
No.
What?
What?
That's not a special result.
That's not a special result.
All
That is a
right, that's one for you.
pretty normal sort of result.
Yeah, kind of boring, really.
I know. Let's see.
Gonna go. I'll be right back.
We'll let you do that. While
Thanks
I
so
figure out
much.
what I want to do. Okay, I'm going to try to. Who do I need to move? I think I'm going to activate. Who's good? I'm going to activate Baby Dawn. Baby Dawn is over here.
Okay.
And this guy's part of Baby Dawn's group, and that guy's part of Baby Dawn's group. So let me roll for initiative. I don't know that he's got initiative, but nope, he doesn't. All right. But that's okay. We'll roll for, see if those guys come out of being disordered. A 37. Let's see what they are 38. Nope, they're going to continue to be disordered. Okay, but
We win yet?
no, I think I've got this guy, and then I got some guns I'll move, and I got a grenadier that I'll move to while I'm at it. So, all right. Oh, and then my Grenzer over here can fire at you too. So this guy did not recover from disorder. So now I can fire this grenadier at you here.
Grenzer,
sorry.
I know, it's a problem. It's like the alpha and the omega of the army.
Yep.
And yet they're nearly the same word.
Yes, I have to say it with the proper accent. Grenza. So the Grenza will fire at you. That's going to be 10 to 10, so that'll be a 1-to-1 shot. Yep. No pluses, no minuses. A 53, I believe, is a miss.
Not a thing.
Yep, not a thing. So we will mark him as finished. All right. Then as far as movement goes, let me go ahead and move Baby Dawn's people. So that's going to be 1, and then we're going to turn. Let's undo that. And we'll turn. Whoops, keep hitting the wrong button. You thought you were the only
I've
one.
Never done that before.
Okay, so let's see if I've got everything. Yeah. All right, and that's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And then this guy is going to. He's in Kolin.
Oh, I see. That out of control, that out of command marker was part of the mistake by clicking wrong buttons.
Yes, because I clicked the Control C instead of the Control X.
Got it.
So he was really in command because Baby Dawn is right here. So
I like that he's got a nickname now.
Well, he's B Dawn, so
I figured
got it. It's got to be Baby Dawn.
And he's not the Big Dawn.
He's not
like
the Big Dawn.
He's
the
Baby
Dawn.
Army.
Yep.
He's Baby Dawn. Yeah,
Baby Dawn.
Totally.
All right. So this guy is then going to turn. That's 1, and he'll go here 2, and then he's going to turn again 3, 4, 5. And 6.
I like the way you guys are running away. That's how it ought to be.
We're heading towards Vienna, and then we'll move him here. Oh yeah, we'll put him on top. That way he can recover the guy. Next turn. All right, and that's it for Baby Dawn. Now, I had the guns here, and I'm glad that you're here because I need your help. I want to put these guys in road, so that way they can move up the trails more effectively than what they're doing right now.
Okay, so right now they are just limbered.
They're just limbered, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So if I So does it cost 1 or does it cost 2 for them to change to road?
Oh, I see.
Because they're guns, and so I didn't know. I know guns cost 2 to limber or unlimber, but I didn't know how much it
Yeah,
costs
no,
for them to
that's
change.
that's a good question, and I think um no, that's not what I want.
How many how many increments can they have in a
Well, they would have to be
road in a
spread out,
square?
right? Because don't they have to
Right.
be?
Yeah, I
So I'd
think
have to do
one is all you can
1
have.
and move him, and then
So two would put you. Oh no, that's right. You're already limbered.
yeah,
It's
I'm
not like you're
limbered.
spending two,
Yeah.
right?
So that's why I was
Um,
curious if it cost 1 for them to change into road.
right.
Well, and that's what I was had to do. How many can you have in road column in a hex?
Well,
There. So
I can only
it
have
has
1
to be
increment of
per hex.
artillery per
That's
hex.
right. That's right. So you have to be in two hexes, and that's certainly going to play a part of it.
Right.
When you go road column artillery cost C series rule 8.4 A B C series rule 8. Well, make up your mind. Which one am I supposed to look at? 8.6C. Limbered artillery changes to and from road column in the same way that march column infantry and cavalry changes to and from road column. C 84A and B. Well, that's
Okay.
pretty funny because if you look, if you look at the formation, fire arc, ZOC, and so on, the
Right.
diagrams, above the arrow that connects road column to limber, it says C series rule 8.4A and B. And then under the arrow, it says C series rule 8.6C. Except rule 8.6C says C 8.4. A and B. I don't know. It's just kind of funny. It's just like, isn't that what the rule just said? So I got two ways to get to the exact same thing. So a unit in march column is required to increase the number of hexes, right? Stacking limitation, right? It's 1 plus 1 movement point for each hex difference in length. Okay, so it's going to cost you 2
Okay.
to be in road.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that if you spend 2, now you're in this hex and this hex.
Correct.
And now your facing no longer matters. So the fact that you are facing the wrong way doesn't matter because you can automatically adopt the correct facing to follow the road because you're in road.
Right.
So you spent 2, and then you can just start moving.
Okay. So the top unit is going to go into road. And then on the little trail, what is our movement called?
Oh, shit. I didn't realize there were 2 of them. Sorry. Didn't realize there were 2 of them there. That does complicate things. Although, let's put it this way, as long as you clear out of the hex.
Yeah, I
So
will.
let's say you want to follow the road. You're going to go 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. You're going to be taking up these 2 hexes.
Right.
With the top unit, and the bottom unit would just be there.
Yeah.
Taking up those 2 hexes.
Well, presuming they also go into road column.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if that's what you choose to do.
Okay. All right. So he's there, and then let's go ahead. And I guess we need a little extended marker.
Extension marker, yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I took the wrong piece.
Or 8 of them, whatever.
Did I copy that, or did somebody else do that for me?
I did.
Put one on there.
No say no.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay. So now, so he's there. So that's his form movement. He's gotten there.
Right.
All right. And then this guy, if he's going to do the same thing, the best he could do would be to get to that hex and then that hex.
Sure.
Okay.
He will have spent 3, and he will have gotten almost as far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or he could just move 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, or he could just do whatever.
4,
right.
whatever. Okay. All right. Good. That's what I was curious about. All right. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, we'll just move him here. And we will turn him slightly like that. No, we'll put him in road. I'm like, it's going to take him forever to get over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With any luck at all.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that takes care of that. And then last but not least, I did have a grenadier I was going to do something with. I thought I would put this grenadier in square. And from my understanding, it takes all of his movement points to go into square. Is that correct?
It does. Yeah, and I think you just wanting to make sure, because I use square so rarely. I think he has to have 3 SPs. Yeah, he does. That is the minimum. So if he loses any, he falls out of square.
Okay. No, that's fine. I wanted to put him in square just to experiment with square.
No, absolutely.
Because I figured at some point in time, Dave might come around that part of the world, and maybe we would do something with the square stuff so I could see how the hell that works in this game.
It could happen.
That's almost an invitation, Dave. Almost an invitation.
And so square is unusual, partially because, well, first of all, it was actually very uncommonly used at this time. But this is probably a better use of it. And I actually thought about doing a little bit at Leuthen, because I had the Württembergers who are like well back behind the line, but then the Prussian cavalry started crushing the Austrian left, and it was like, holy crap, these guys are about to get in combat. Even though I tried marching them away, I thought, well, I could just put them into square, and as opposed to doing it during a reaction.
Right.
Because as you probably noticed, it's a plus 40 on your disorder check.
Yeah. So
go into square if you're being charged, which is not great. So this is a better play where it's just like, you know what? I'm in an area that's dangerous. I'm just going to go in and put myself in square just to be on the safe side.
Well, and he's far enough away. I mean, there's no enemy infantry or artillery anywhere near around.
That's going to attack him. No, it's and yet, what else are you going to do with the guy?
Yeah. Now, he's too small to be doing much of anything else, but I figured
that's true.
So just when I was looking through it, it looked like, right, if you've got guys that are moving past, I'll still get my opportunity fire with him, and I think I can fire 3 increments out. Is it modified for being in square? It looked like it was almost the same as being in line.
And no, not really. Okay. So the trick is that you've got you can fire into 3 of the adjacent hexes.
Right.
Not all 6.
No. I understand that.
Right. And so that's a little tricky. And I think the thing is God, it's been so long.
But it says I can fire up to 4 strength points, but just not into the adjacent hexes, as you said. Minimum of 3 strength points to form square. But unlike, say, Labatai, where my fire multiplier would be, or the number of things firing out would be thirded, because this doesn't seem to have that. And so I didn't know if I was missing something.
No, that's an interesting point, because you're right. 12.3c says when a square or 2 hex line. Oh, no, that's not actually it. I was expecting it to say something else. Yeah, I would have told you that would not make sense, right? That you could fire all 3 at 1 hex. Obviously, in this case, you only have 3, right?
Right.
It doesn't seem reasonable, and yet I've got so little experience with it that I don't know for sure. Square, 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 square.
Yeah. So that made it seem like an even better thing to do because then I'm getting, whatever hex you might happen to park somebody in or try to move past or whatever, I
Right.
get to fire all three at it as opposed to like just one strength point kind of a thing. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
No.
why I'm like kind of a little confused just based on obviously the differences between La Bataille and Bar.
Sure. Sure. Square fire strength distribution pattern. There. That's probably what we're worried about. But ooh, it doesn't have a reference to where that is.
Well, it's actually on the chart. Under the fire chart, you've got this
Okay. Here we
square
go.
strength distribution, right? And
No.
so
12.2G at the bottom of page 21.
okay.
A square divides its fire into 3 non-adjacent hexes. Treat each hex fired into as a separate fire combat using 1/3 of the unit's total, up to a maximum of 4 strength points per target unit hex, 2 if disordered. That means that a maximum of 12 strength points, or 6 if disordered, can fire from a square with 4 strength points firing into 3 non-adjacent target units.
Okay. So if I had 12 increments there, then I could fire 4 out through those
three
three
different
different
directions.
Since I only
Now,
have 3 there, I can only fire 1 out of those 3
which means
directions.
basically it's useless because your chances of getting, maybe you get 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 3, but you know what, 1 to 3 might actually be enough because you get a disorder, you could really mess somebody up. So now what I'm struggling with is, because I've never actually found call to use this, but let's just imagine someone's moving past this square.
Right.
If you decide to shoot at a unit leaving that hex,
Right.
and you're entitled to, and they're moving into that hex,
Yeah.
you can't then fire at them when they leave that hex.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Because once you fired into that hex, then you've decided that those are the 3 you're firing into. Does that make sense?
Well, I understand that. I mean, in La Bataille, I'd get to fire at both of them.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so that's
I don't
why,
know. I'm finding it a little mysterious the way, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's ever come up, but it is kind of funny because it's kind of like you've got 3 hexes you can shoot into, and it would seem a little weird if you could keep adjusting the 3.
Right.
Right. Then if that's the case, then it's not really 3 anymore. Then it's all 6. So I'm not 100% sure. Fortunately, it doesn't come up very often.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Plus, the other thing we've learned is there's no opportunity firing charges.
Correct.
So it would have to be regular movement.
Yeah.
But okay.
Hey,
well,
I don't know.
Very
it's something
good.
to do, and something for us to talk about, and that way
I'm glad you did.
All of our excited fans out there can now see.
Absolutely. Be just ecstatic. And
Okay.
They're finished as well. Very good. Okay. All right. I have no idea where we are now.
I think it's time for me to roll the dice.
All right.
Okay. Here we go. And that's one for me.
That's you again.
It is. I feel so privileged.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what hasn't gone yet.
You and your Austrian
I would
privilege.
say Puebla has not gone yet, so we can move Mr. Puebla. So he is here. He is within command range of Dawn. So that's good. And he's got some people that are back in the back that are out of command. some guys back here, so I'm just going to go ahead and move them first.
Alrighty.
So that's a weed person. That's a Puebla person. Okay, so this
That's
Puebla
a
person.
weed.
Yes, exactly. So that's going to be 1 and 2. And let's rotate and do that. All right, and this guy's going to go 1 and 1.5 gets him there. It doesn't have enough to do anything else. And this guy's going to go 1 and 2 gets him there. This guy's going to go 1. Well, let's go here. We'll go half, 1.5, 2. And this person's going to go 1 and 2. He'll end up stacked there with that guy. All right. That takes care of those people. Now, the other people that belong to Puebla. What do we want to do with them? We're going to go ahead and take this guy out of a 2-hex line. We're going to just push him forward. And then this guy, we're just going to have him shift like that. And let's see. Puebla. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll be in range. Well, so half of them are there. Okay. All right. All right, that takes care of him. And anybody else? Nope, I think that's it. I think that's all of his little people slowly making their way to the front. Okay,
All right.
it's time for David to roll.
Okay, let's see. 7-2.
Whoa.
That's another
Well,
one.
we're going to give the Austrians every chance.
Every chance indeed. All right, I think I've already moved Andalus, and I think I've got everybody except for this one guy out on the right. Actually, out on the left. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just move Kolrath here. So I'm just going to get some units stacked up here so they are slightly more formidable. There we go. Okay, that's it for me.
So you say.
Back to you, Michael.
Oh, no.
That's
See,
one
that's
for
how
you
you roll
guys.
some dice. That's how those dice get rolled. Oh, man alive. Okay, well, we got that going for us. Okay, well then, I guess it's probably time to do Manstein, because what else am I going to do?
Yep.
Right, exactly my
You've
point.
got Manstein, you've got Punwitz.
Puttkamer, and I got the...
and
No,
you
no,
got-
Ponvik's already gone.
Yep, so Puttkamer, and then you got
yeah.
2, and then David still has somebody.
Yeah.
Yep, I still got one there. Olsen.
Right. Okay, well then, let's see. We'll do Einstein, and let's see. I guess I'll roll to put him in command. Probably not. It doesn't really matter though, but it's all good. We'll do some fire combat first. Yeah, all right. So here it's going to be.
It's going to be what? What's he
gonna
got?
be
4?
1.5 to
4 to
1.
4. So yeah, 1.5 to
10.
1 with a -10.
Okay, all right. Let's check out that. Let's look carefully on the chart and see how that works out.
That's
Not
where,
sure.
yeah, those guys did not. Their flints had gotten a little square, not sharp.
Yeah.
They forgot to
No
put some stuff.
bueno. No bueno por caca. So let's see. This guy, if he fired, it would be a. Okay, that is exactly what I meant.
Oh, what happened?
Look, I just
Did you pick
because
up
I
my
lost
guy
my
and move him?
mind. Yeah, I moved
Oh,
your
okay.
guy. So now we're back. Okay. Um. So this guy, if he fires, it's going to be like 6. So it's going to be 1 to 2 -10.
Can you
I
even hit anything, maybe? Well, you might get a special result. You never know.
guess so. Well, what the hell? I mean, don't cost nothing to shoot.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll do it. That
Not
was
today.
really special, all right. All right. All good. All good. Well, we'll go ahead and march on up. And I don't think you can actually. Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah, I
Because
can take a shot
this,
at you,
this,
and
this guy
yeah.
can fire as well. So that's a total of 3. So it's 6. So it's 1.5 to 1.
Okay.
No, excuse me. It's 1 to 2. I'm sorry.
1 to 2. All right. 62. I don't think that's good enough for anything.
Don't think so. All right. I don't even think that gets you a disorder check.
Don't I have to hit something to get a disorder check?
No, there's a disorder check.
Because it's opportunity fire. I'm
It's
looking at the other
opportunity
side
fire.
of it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
at 1 to 2, I got to get in the 80s for a disorder check.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. So now you with the eagle eyes. That's a sunken road. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's a sunken road.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure because you seem to be the only guy who is able to see them because I sure can't. All right. So that would be 1, 2 then.
For those guys to go into the sunken road, yes, it costs 2 in their line, so that's 2.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be 3, 4, and there'll be a disorder check, which they pass. All right.
And that was for going through the sunken road hex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's not really great. Oh well, whatever. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I put him there, what does that do for him? Not a lot. All right, fair enough. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move these guys 1, and then move him here. And now everybody's golden. And isn't golden what we're all about? And then what do we got up here? Okay. All right, then I think that's probably almost it. I will go ahead and attempt close assault here with this fella.
Okay, and so then I have a chance to retreat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess I would go there.
Right.
And let me make my morale check. And so I'm going to be shaken, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Shaken but not stirred. Okay, let me put that on top so we don't forget about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
do you get to turn because
Nope.
you follow him?
No, because I'm in a zone of control when I enter the hex, so I don't have the luxury of turning. The default is that you got to maintain your facing, and only if you're not in an enemy zone of control do you have the freedom to turn any way you want. Oh well, that's how baseball goes. All right, well then that's going to be it. I think I've already flipped him over, haven't I? Yeah, I have.
Yep.
So
It's over
here
to.
now, who's next?
Oh, it's me, I guess, since you rolled
You, I
that
think. Yeah,
one.
it is you. Yeah.
That's another one for the Prussians.
Another one for the Prussians. Oh my gosh, what'll we do? Okay. I mean, I guess I'll do put cover and just move him on. I mean, speak up, David, if you care to do something else.
David's waiting for the critical moment in the battle.
Yeah. The big strike there. All right, so that was a 0 to roll to put him in command. So I think that's safe to say. So that's 1, 2. Actually, he could go ahead and do 3, 4, couldn't he? I'm wondering, how about that? Yeah. And this is the Liebgard here. I guess I'll go ahead and move these guns too while I'm at it, just to get them out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. I think I'm okay with them. And then these chowderheads back here with their pink trousers, I don't even want to start. 2, 3, 4. Is that really what I want to do? Yeah, that's okay. All right, that's 4. And yeah, let's just leave it at 4. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and move this fella here, and we'll flip him over. And Bob is my uncle. Okay.
I'm actually gonna activate this grenadier over here, sitting with the guns here. In that thing.
Oh, sure, yeah, by all means.
So, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I see. He just moved away from the guns.
Right.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's weird. The way Vassal
okay.
works is that sometimes it'll sometimes show you like when you hovered over the hex, whatever was in the hex at the time, maybe not what's in the hex now. And so it was like, wait a minute, you just moved the guns too. But no, you hadn't moved the guns. All right, very good. Very good. David, is that your role then?
Yeah, I think we're to me now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Woo.
A 9-0. What's that?
That is
Austrians.
up or down
Battle
end
tempo.
turn marker.
Well, where are we at? Let's gotta take a look.
Well,
Let's
doesn't
move. I mean,
matter.
I've moved everything, so let's move it down. So, or move. I guess move it down the track.
Yeah, move it down the track.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
No, that makes sense. Obviously, in your case, there's very little to lose.
Yeah.
So why not? Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna roll again. 43. That's to the Austrians.
Except I
Alright.
don't think I got anybody left. I don't know that I have anybody. So they've all gone. They've gone. They've gone.
Looking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've moved everybody. Everybody's moved. Everybody's fired. Everybody's done. Well, yeah, but I mean the guns.
Well, but
Yeah.
if you don't have anybody to activate, then the guns are done too.
Oh, really? Is that how it works?
Yeah, because the guns have to fire during an activation.
Oh, okay. So if I were to
And
move my leader, that doesn't count. So if it was to move a wing leader, I can move
no,
that at any
actually,
time.
strictly, you can't do that either.
Oh,
They
really?
have to move during. Everything has to happen during a
Oh,
command activation.
okay.
And you're
Interesting.
right. Some of the things have nothing to do with the command that's activating.
Okay.
Independent units and leaders
Right.
and stuff like that could just do whatever the hell they want, but they have to do it during that time. So, yeah, strictly speaking, nobody can do anything now.
Okay. Cool. Well, then it's over to you guys.
No, well, oh shit, that's how it's for us. Woo. We are somebody. Okay. Wow. Boy, this is no way to put a caca. So I think I got my cavalry, and then you got Hulson, right?
Yep.
I think everybody else has already moved. All right. Well, let's do Norman back here.
Storm and Norman.
The very same. 7. That might not be good enough for him to put himself in command. Oh,
Nope, he's a
just
7.
just enough, actually. All right. All right. So let's see if we can just make this easy. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6.
Putting them in the central position.
A little bit, yeah.
They could go either way now.
Yep, that's my cunning plan. It's so cunning, I don't even know what it is. So I think it's my role now.
Yep. Oh, it's another something. Oh, it's command lapse.
Oh.
Well, now you're lapsed back in again.
I'm lapsed back in. He's gotten back up off of his horse. Oh. Wow, that's now completely meaningless, but thanks. That's super. I could have gotten maybe some really much more interesting special results. Just saying, but whatever.
All right. So now we're +1. Is that what?
Now we're +1. That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Although it's moot. Well, yeah, it's largely moot. Not quite moot. All right, that moves the clock another 1.
Oh, yeah.
And now I got Shadai, and you got Hulson. You want to do anything with Hulson? Yes, no, maybe.
Well, I need to move the commander to get a little bit to get some people.
Well,
in
then you
command.
better activate him then.
All right. So we will.
Well, can you move a leader when? So say you were
No.
picked.
If
Okay.
he's a command leader, when you activate him is when his command activates. There's no
okay.
separating those two things.
So it's not like you
A
could.
non-command leader can move during any command's activation.
So-
Doesn't have to have anything to do with him.
So Zeton could have moved if in that last one when
That's
you just
right.
activated those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
But
Cool.
for Coulson himself to move requires
He's the one who's activated.
This is my moment.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2.
I could be a star.
All right. We'll roll for Holston, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's not
Although
gonna
it
do
doesn't
much
necessarily
better
matter.
than
Depends on what you're going to do. He's
Yeah.
fine.
I do. And they're there. I think that gives me everybody in command.
I don't think there's any disorders I have to worry about. There's no fire. Sounds good. All right, so. All right. Now we back. All right, so that was a Michael. So
Yep. I
over to
guess
you,
here we go. And that's the last one for you.
Okie dokie. Well, I guess there's not a lot of drama about who it'll be,
Nope.
which is good because really, we don't need stress in our lives.
Actually, it's
Mm. All right. Well, first of all, we'll just roll. He must be in command. That was easy.
Yep.
Whoop. Other one. 1, 2.
Although not necessarily 2. Moving through
3.
the village costs your
Oh, good point. Thank you.
guys 3 to move through. So.
Oh,
The-
all right.
you know-
Well, let me just undo. And then
So some of them could move, but not. They couldn't all move as fast as the guys that are on this side of the village. They can move faster. These guys couldn't move quite as far.
I wonder if perhaps they shouldn't. I wonder if perhaps they shouldn't be where they are. In other words, if that got missed on a previous movement.
It's conceivable.
Not 100% sure. All right. Well, very good. Well, then just everybody move back, except for the leader. And then we'll just go down the line, starting here. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. I'm not too worried about it, but we'll look. And that's 4. That's 5. That's probably not going to work.
Oh,
Nope.
nope. He's a
not
20.
enough. No, but he needs a +5. There's a +5.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, god dang it. Okay, let's. What is happening here?
Is your mouse freaking out again?
Yeah, it's just me freaking out. No big deal. All right, and then 6 and 7. All right, so no
now you know where to
surprise.
put your leader.
Yeah, no big mystery there. And that's it. And so, has everybody really activated?
I'm pretty sure on my side everybody has. I'm looking at all my commanders from left to right. Yeah, everybody on my part of the universe has.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
Okay, well then we're gonna chuck these dice here, and that's as the Austrians go first on the rally phase.
Oh, okay. And so we roll for shaken first.
Shaken first,
Okay.
and then you go to the routed guys.
Okay. All right. So we'll start, I guess, work from left to right because that's where I'm at on my screen.
Left to right.
So
Okay.
that's going to be over here, this part of the world.
Yeah, looks like that's your first one on the left.
Yeah, this guy here, right?
No.
Who
that
else?
one right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Totally forgot about him. Thank you. So here we go. Let's throw the dice. 53.
Oh, unless he's pretty terrible.
Well.
No, he'd have to be more terrible than that. Yeah.
So I got.
Yeah, he's at plus 13 right now, so you'd need
Okay.
to have been a 40 or better. So you're good.
So he's good. Hooray. All right. So then I can put him into some formation. Well, he was fine. Yep. That'll work.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can remove that marker.
Next one's going to be a little worse. Plus 28.
Okay. and he's, who is he?
Very hard to believe that that's going to be good enough for him, but you know, we could
Well,
look.
you never know. 31 plus 28. No, he's still
Yeah.
out. So
Okay.
it's a minus 18,
Now,
right? Is it?
yeah, so it's
5 for being
it's
disordered, 10 for being shaken.
that's
and
right,
3
and then 10 for
for
half, and then 10 for half dead.
He's not half dead though.
Oh, I'm sorry. God, I'm looking right at the numbers.
Yeah.
So you are
So
you
it's
are quite right.
18.
Actually, he is okay. He's just disordered now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was wondering if I'd
No,
missed something.
I'm just looking right at it and just not seeing it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then this guy.
Plus 18 again.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, he's.
Now, gotta ask though,
Yeah.
did you roll for him with Puebla?
Did I roll for his
Did
disorder?
you roll for his disorder recovery?
No, and it doesn't look like I moved him either, for that matter. So if I mean, he's still past this. Let me roll for the disorder if you guys will let me.
Sure.
49, that should be good enough. So he should be quite happy. Okay. All right. And I'll leave him there so he can run back.
Think about what he did. Okay, next shaken one.
I got a bunch there. I got, let's see, who else? Oh, actually, Baby Dawn. No, that guy is that. O'Donnell is with a guy who's shaken, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and.
It's just going to be +3 for
roll for
him.
him. All right. So he's feeling better. Better about his choices in life.
Oh, I don't know about that. He's out here on a battlefield in the 18th century. There's no penicillin. There's no opium. I mean, I don't know, brother.
He's only got a few things he's got to worry about. Let's see. I'm looking up here the line. So routed.
Yeah, I don't see any of your guys that are shaking along the line. You got this guy up here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
North of the woods.
Yep. So he's gonna. He's got a minus 18, and then he's got another -5 because he's adjacent to enemy.
No, it's. I think it's 10 actually. So I think he's 28. I mean, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 28.
The recovery rally attempt is I.
Yeah, it's +10 for in the Nizak.
Yeah. Okay. So +10.
Yep.
And so 25, 28. Okay. Here
Right.
we go. Let's see what we get. 42. He's going to remain unhappy.
Nope.
All right. And then if we go a little further down the line, I've got this guy here who is shaken and disordered. He's half dead. So that's going to be a +10. So he's also a 28.
28.
Yep. 36. He's going to stay unhappy. This guy here is shaken and he's half dead. So he's going to have a +23. Okay.
23. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh,
it's
doesn't
good
matter.
enough. It's magic. There's not much left of him, but they're ready to do their
Yeah.
part for Maria
Yeah.
Teresa.
Well, she doesn't care about you guys. I'm just telling you right now.
All right. So now we would roll for routed units, correct?
Routed, yeah.
Okay. So we'll start over here. I've got this cavalry unit. We'll just kind of work our way around.
Oh, working our way back. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, does it matter where we start? Should we start in the rear and work
You
our
know,
way forward?
no. Well, to be honest with you, it usually doesn't matter. Obviously, you don't want a unit routing through another unit.
Right.
And so that sometimes informs your decision, but in this case, there's so much open space it doesn't make any difference what order you do it in.
Okay. So he's going to have a -23, correct?
28.
28. Oh, so being routed.
15
routed
for
is 15.
routed.
Okay, and he's half
Yeah.
dead. Okay. So 28. Here we go. Nah, he's going to keep bugging out. So let's see. 1, 2, 3,
6
4, 5,
more.
6. Puts him back there. All right.
Okay, now you got some guys in the trees here.
Yep. So I'll roll for that guy first. So he's got the minus 15 for being routed.
Probably -5 for being in the trees, I'm guessing, right?
But being in the woods does help. So he's going to get a +5. So it's only a -10. But then
So
the
it's
+3.
13.
So it's 13. So here we go.
Oh, yeah.
He's quite pleased with himself. So let's figure out which way to go. I think I'm finally figuring out how the order of the chips go. Okay, so this guy, I'm sure I'll get it wrong. He's half dead. He's routed.
So 23.
So he's
then.
23.
Yeah.
92.
Whoa! Boy, the trees make you brave, don't they?
Yeah. Okay. And then we got this chap here. It's the same thing. I think a 23 for him.
Yeah.
85.
Oh
my
my God! Look at the die rolls.
It is like a miracle. It's the Christmas miracle here.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Okay.
What month of the year is this?
This is it June? July? I can't remember which month.
June 18th.
June 18th. Okay. We're almost at
Coming
the
up.
anniversary next week. Yeah,
That's
we'll
right.
celebrate
That's
the
right.
anniversary of it. All right.
Brilliant.
Moving down the line, let's see. I've got then this infantry here.
Mhm.
So this
that's gonna
guy,
be 18.
18. Here we go. 35. I don't think that's good enough because he's
Well,
probably a
it's-
30 or something, right?
Well, yeah, let's double check and make sure.
He's a 31.
Yeah,
so with
31.
that,
Okay,
he's
so he
not
just
gonna do much.
runs, no loss, but runs.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 puts him there.
Yeah.
All right. And then I've got this guy. It's probably the
this guy's
same
pretty
thing.
similar, you'd imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
54.
Well, if he is, then he's okay.
He's a
Yep.
31 also. Okay. So he's
All
just,
right.
he's now
Shaken and
shaken and
disordered.
disordered.
Right.
Okay. Cool. I can handle that. Let's flip him back to his beautiful side. All right. Anybody else? That's your guy, I think, right?
Yeah, based on
Okay,
the
my
facing.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I've got one last guy that's down here, routed, ready to go off the
Way
map.
down there. That's right.
So he's half dead, routed. So he's the 28, right?
28.
Yep. Here we
Yeah.
go. 79.
Damn.
Wow.
God, we can't buy a break in this particular rally.
Well, that
can
makes
we?
up for all of the
Yeah, you've had some lousy ones.
makes up
before.
for all of the horrible ones I've had previously. All right. So let's put him in.
And really, it was just for the moral victory of having one of your units run off the map. That was really all it was about. I mean, it doesn't mean a darn thing because the unit is wrecked.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah, because he's only got what, one increment left?
Two
or?
left,
two.
I think. Yeah.
Hey, that might be enough
Two.
to turn the tide of the battle.
Oh boy. Half dead and a mile away from the fighting. Yeah, you betcha.
Hey, by the time he gets up to there, the battle will have moved to him. What are you talking about?
I
Isn't
have
that
a
the
strong
Prussian
suspicion
plan?
that is not the case. It may be the Prussian plan, but it ain't what happened.
Okay, I think.
All right.
I
That
think.
should be it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I got anybody else.
So now that you've used up all the good die rolls, oh, hold on. You got Grenzers in the village.
Oh, the Grenzers. Okay, all right. So let's roll for them.
Now,
So
they're not in an enemy zone of control, so it's just plus 13. Well, plus 23 for them.
okay, because they're half dead, right?
They're half dead.
They're gonna stay shaken.
Yeah. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Very good. David, let's start over in your neck of the woods.
All right. So I got that guy first.
Okay. And he is
So he's shaken and
15,
disordered. So
22
15,
minus
22.
12. I think it's 10.
Yep, minus 10. Oh, he should be fine.
Should be fine.
So it's
Just-
just disordered.
Just disordered now, right?
Yep. All right. And then the next one I got is here, I think.
27.
And boom. What is
So
he?
27. That's 20. He needs to be 26 or better.
he's
Oh.
a 26. Just barely squeaked it out.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I'll take it.
All right. Yep.
And I
Let's
think.
see.
All right.
We got this
Oh.
shaken guy in the line here.
Right.
And so he's going to be plus 27. Yeah. 27.
Yeah.
Is he a 23 or better?
Probably not.
Survey says
Oops.
29.
No. Disappointing.
Yeah.
All right. Is that? Oh, there's one more back this away.
Where?
Back. It's actually stacked under Ponvitz.
Oh, that's your.
He's not even part of Ponvitz's command, but Ponvitz happens to be standing there, so why
Right.
not?
That's that's yours. So.
Right. So the effectiveness modifier on the replacement is +2, meaning that it's only a -4 rather than the printed -6 for
Oh, okay.
Ponvitz.
I'm trying to figure
That's-
out what that meant in English.
Yeah,
Okay.
it takes a little getting your brain wrapped around the idea that sometimes negative numbers are good and sometimes they're bad. It's like
So he'd
Okay.
be 27, but then he's
Minus
4 better,
4.
so he's 23.
23.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
Oh, that's a beautiful roll.
Alrighty.
Don't even have to
Done.
think about that one.
Not too much. Okay. I think that's it for Shakens. Are there any Shakens that we have missed? I don't think so. Okay. All right. Then we'll do the 2. There's 3 routed.
Yeah.
All right. You see, this is where it kind of matters. Because I kind of knowingly congested myself such that if I did that one first and it succeeded,
Right.
and this one failed, well, this guy's going to have to run over somebody.
Right.
So, it's one of those things where kind of you need to decide how do you feel about that. And
So
honestly,
then,
these guys
then would you
these
roll
guys-
for him first and then that guy second?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, because it really doesn't matter. I mean, you probably end up still doing this first, just because if he runs, then it's no big deal. If this guy runs, it's no harm, no foul.
Okay.
But it is just one of those things you just gotta bear in mind. It probably, in this case, it does make a little bit of difference. Okay, so what do we got here? If we start with the guy in the back, so he is
15.
routed, so it's 15, and then the army morale and the leader cancel out,
Cancel
so it's
out,
just
so it's
15.
15.
Hmm.
And
He ain't that good.
No. Well, would he take a loss, or what's his?
Well, we don't know. We don't know. Not without. Oh, come on! I'm going to click on everything in the stack except. No, he loses another one.
Okay.
All right. Oh, for the love of Pete, could we make this any worse? Here we go. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and unfortunately that took the leader with. And so then we get to the next one. Why the hell are there so many leaders stacked here? There's 2 leaders there. I obviously can't use both of them. I'll just use the superior one. It's going to be plus 15, plus 7, plus 22, then minus 9. It's going to be plus 14. Or, excuse me.
So that's one of my Braunschweigers,
yeah.
right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're quite right. That explains why I was so confused about the presence of 2 guys there.
Is Braunschweig the overall leader, or?
No, Tresco is.
Tresco.
Oh, okay. So you use his modifier, right?
The last guy was probably yours too, wasn't he? My bad.
Was he? Or he might. Let's see.
Yeah, he's from I.
English.
English. Okay.
Ingerschleben, Schleben,
Hey, you
Schlaben.
routed my English guy long
Yeah.
enough.
You got your peanut butter in my chocolate. You got your
That's how I
chocolate in my
roll.
peanut butter.
All right, so
So
plus
I-
15 plus 22 minus 9 would be plus 13.
All right. Boom. Okay.
No
Oh,
problem.
they're
All
happy.
right. So they are eager to get back at it. And who wouldn't be, really?
All right, now you have somebody, don't you, over here, Michael? You've got a cavalry unit that's routed, right?
Oh, yes, you're quite right. Yes, thank you. And then David's got another one way in the back.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right, so yeah, I'll go ahead and do this guy. So he's plus 22. And we'll just fire that away. And he's going to lose another increment and become half dead and run.
I was looking for the special results table on that one, but you're right. It's for those morale checks. It's just whatever you get is what you get.
That's right, exactly. All right, David, your
Well,
shredded Zeton Hussars. See, that's all it took to get back in the business.
All right.
Oh yeah, it was definitely not plus 45, which is what it would have had to be for you to fail.
Just wait for
All
the next
right.
army level.
That's exactly.
All right.
All right, so I think that's it, right?
I believe
so.
so.
I think it is. So we can hit the end turn button. Boom.
Finally.
All right,
Yeah,
we
no
can
kidding.
remove
No
the
kidding.
the movement markers. Okay. All right. I think we've got it done. This was the it's appropriate for, here around D-Day, which was called the longest day. This is the longest turn.
This is the longest turn. Oh goodness, yeah. So well, it was only February when we started this turn. It wasn't that bad. I mean, you guys
Oh,
were
it
you
wasn't
guys
quite
are
that
making
long
this.
ago. It wasn't
Okay,
quite that
okay,
long
okay.
ago.
I was thinking of the Moskva game.
Yeah, that one did take a while, but that was a fun one, and that was
Oh
our
no, it
first
was fun.
time also playing a big
That's right.
group, vassal game, and that was our first tryout, and it worked really well.
It was a great way to be able to play, even though we were all kind of still doing lockdown stuff and not getting out very much. So it was great to have the opportunity. And
Well, the worst you could do is you didn't have to worry about spilling a beer on the map and the
on the
counters.
board,
You just
that's
had to worry
true.
about spilling a beer on your keyboard.
Ooh, and that would be worse.
Yeah.
Come to think of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
subtly
the,
different.
So it was interesting at Aikido the other day. I was talking to. There's one fellow. He's pretty well versed in a lot of these battles, and
Right.
more than Napoleonic ones and stuff.
Really?
And we were just talking about the things, and he always inquires. Oh, how's Linny going, or how's Borodino going, because he knows I've got those going on. But one of the other fellows that's fairly new there overheard it, and he used to do all the old SPI games.
Oh.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
Wow.
finally met somebody in real life
In real life,
that knew what these things were.
I was on an airplane. Boy, it's been years ago. I'm not even sure when it was, but I was playing Mark Simonich's Ardennes 44 on Vassal on my laptop on an airplane. And the flight attendant comes by and he says, "May I ask, what are you doing?" And I, of course, I don't make any assumptions about, what the guy knows. I said, "Well, I'm just playing this game on, it's really a board game, but I'm playing it on my..." And he's like, "They still make board games?" I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "I used to play board games, war games back in the day. I had no idea that people still do that." I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so funny." He didn't seem like he was that old. But then maybe I don't think I'm that old either. So maybe, I don't know what that says. Anyway, but it was funny. That was my one example of in real life running into somebody who just happened to look over my shoulder as he was walking up the aisle. What the hell are all those hexes?
Yeah, every now and again I'll run into people and, they say, "What do you do?" or "What's your hobby?" or whatever. And I'll say, well, you look like you're about the same age as I am. Do you remember these kinds of games? They're like, oh yeah, I remember those. I'm like,
Yeah, well,
this is what
some
I
of
do.
us never grew up.
Yep,
Okay, that's all I'm
exactly.
trying to say.
Exactly. We
Some
are
of us
still
never grew up.
children, kids at heart. So
So, I had this was so funny. People are just funny. This guy who came out to Consim World for the very first time last time. His name is. I always have to struggle with his name because it's only 5 letters, but I always get them out of order. It's either Rich. Here, okay, I'm just gonna look because I'm too embarrassed.